Welcome to Constructive Conversations, the podcast dedicated to raising the standard of excellence in light construction. I'm your host, Colton Lingle. Each episode will explore the people, products, and processes that are shaping the future of this industry. From practical insights to proven best practices, you'll discover how to build better businesses, relationships, and buildings. This is where excellence isn't just expected, it's the baseline. Get ready, because today's constructive conversation starts now. Welcome to Constructive Conversations. I'm Colton Lingle, and today we are going to be talking about 3 ways that we should be building trust with our employees, or 3 things we can do to build trust with our employees. First, though, let me talk about why it's important to build trust with your employees. There has been a mindset that occasionally I've had, and I know other people have had, that what's the point? You don't need to have that relationship with them. You don't need to have a level of trust with them. They're your employees. As long as you pay them a paycheck, then you guys should be good, and they should just go. And those that are astute among you would know that that's not necessarily the case. People have emotions. They're not just robots. People have lives, and we have to recognize that fact. And if we're trying to get the best out of our employees and the best out of ourselves to provide the best product for our clients, then we really need to be developing a relationship with our employees and developing trust with them. And these are a couple of the ways that we can do that. So first on that list, now that we've talked about what is important, the importance of building trust is one of the best ways to do it is to communicate. And when I say communicate, most people are going to be like, oh yeah, I tell my guys what's going on. I tell them over communicate. We tend to keep things close to our chest, close to the vest, that we don't need to as leaders. Certainly, there are times when we need to keep things quiet, confidential. There's certain things that you can't share for legal reasons. And there's certain things that we have to keep quiet for confidential reasons because we're trying to protect the parties involved. But communicate when things are going well. Communicate when things are going poorly, so that they know. It will help them understand what's going on with you, with the company, but also help them understand where they're at in their job position. You might be concerned about communicating when things are going poorly. They might want to jump ship. I don't know that needs to be the case. If they're just jumping ship automatically when things are going bad, then maybe they weren't the right people to have in the first place. But communicate when things are good and when things are bad. That ties into a previous episode where we talked about making sure that you reward openly and such. So tell them when they're doing well. Tell them when things are well. I try to go as far as when we have our twice weekly, bi-weekly. I'm never good with that bi-weekly or whatever. We have a meeting twice a week, Mondays and Thursday mornings at 9:00. We get on a company call with all the company leaders. So that's all the way down to the crew leader level. And which isn't a whole lot of us at this point in the company, but there's 4 or 5 of us on that call, and I try to share as the owner and technically currently the sales manager. I try to share when we've had a win and we've signed a big contract and we have a big job coming up. Try to share that. I try to share with everybody when we have compliments from our clients, when they share some good news, or when they really compliment the guys. I try to share that with everybody to make sure that they know we're in the middle of an ice storm. So I might have to re-record this. We'll see. This might get edited out. We'll see. And when the client tells us that the guys did a great job, I try to share that with them. Let them know that they did a great job. So over communicate. Don't keep that close to the vest. The guys need to know if it's going to benefit them or encourage them in some way, do it. If it's going to shed some more light, sometimes I share when things are going rough just so they know why I'm in a bad mood, so that they don't think that it's like my own personal vendetta against them. So make sure that you're communicating that. You don't have to share particular numbers. I rarely share particular numbers with the guys, but I've even started doing that more and more and communicated with that. I think with the guys that I've had, I've made it very clear. Look, this is what you're getting paid. I try to pay my guys really well, and make sure they're taken care of. But I also try and communicate, look, this is what this costs. When material is expensive, I make sure they know then, because that's important. They know what the cost is if they make a mistake. Not that I'm trying to make them scared of making a mistake. I'm not like coming out for them, going to dock their paycheck or something, but saying, hey, this is a little bit more important. Or that's a $15 board. I pay them more than $15 an hour. So if they ruin the board, don't try and fix it and take an hour fixing it. Just go grab another board. If it takes you less than an hour to do that, because there's no point. All those kind of things I try to communicate, but also just the size of the projects, so that they understand the size and the scope of what's going on here, partially because that helps them know this is how much the homeowner's investing in this. This is how important it is to the homeowner. So when the homeowner gets excited about something, or when the homeowner's upset about something, because they're seeing $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 here, and what's going on there. I just realized, I don't know if you guys can see this behind me. It's reflecting off of there's a wood stove off camera over here. So nothing's burning in the house that shouldn't be burning. So just to relay your guys' fears if you're seeing that. So probably communicated enough on communicating and over communicating. So that's one, communicate or over communicate. Two, be consistent while also leaving room for flexibility. What do I mean? Be consistent with how I treat people, but be flexible, because how I treat each person is going to be different. So the consistency is, I'm always trying to take care of my guys. I'm always trying to make sure they're okay, but making sure they're okay looks different depending on the person that I'm communicating with and I'm talking to. So I'm going to be consistent in making sure that they're taken care of, their needs are met, and that they're good to go moving forward. But how I do that looks different. How I take care of the people looks different. So sometimes I'll do something for one of my employees that I haven't done for any of my other employees, because their needs are different. But I also try to leave room to make sure that each employee knows that wherever their needs lie, I'm going to come and help with them and work through there. Obviously, that's a two-way street. I'm helping them with what they need, assuming that that's building trust and that relationship to make sure that they're showing up to work and doing a good job at work. Understandably, that's a two-way street. But for instance, I have an employee that's getting married. Told him, look, don't worry about time off. We'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about that. Don't think about it. Versus somebody else, I probably might communicate with them differently and say, hey man, you're out of PTO. We probably shouldn't, you don't need to, you can't take more time off. So for one, giving him flexibility with more PTO because of him getting married in that occasion, versus somebody else where I've already had to have that conversation with him. Hey, once your PTO is gone, you really can't be taking time off. So there's those two different ones. But that other person that I've communicated with, given ample flexibility in other areas of what they're doing to make sure that they're taken care of in a different way. So take care of them while still leaving flexibility. Make sure that you're consistent in taking care of your employees while still leaving flexibility to meet their specific needs and specific goals. So that's two. One, communicate or over communicate. Two, be consistent in taking care of your employees while also being flexible with how you do it. And then three, hold the standard without making it personal. So this is specific to how you interact with them while they're doing their work, whether that's our sales or our project manager or the guys actually doing the job on the ground. we hold them accountable without calling them out personally. So what does that look like? That looks like saying, hey, that we have dropped the ball in this way. I'm sure there's stuff going on at home. I'm not saying that you're a horrible person. I'm not saying that you're going to lose your job or anything like that. I'm just saying that this needs to improve. I know you do good work. I know you do well in other areas, but this area is not one of the things that we've been excelling at. So we need to step it up in this area. And so you can address it without calling them a horrible person. We shouldn't be calling them names. We shouldn't be chewing them out, cursing them out, chewing them out even. That's just unprofessional from you as the owner or the leader. And it doesn't build trust. In fact, it does the complete opposite. It tears that trust away and removes it. So that's important. I know I'm probably not going to go into that as much as the other ones, but make sure that you're being specific when you talk about examples of what they've done wrong. Don't just overgeneralize, because that can lead into just them assuming that you think they're a horrible person or a horrible employee. Let's be frank, sometimes you get employees that aren't great. That's a different conversation. They should not be working for you. You need to let them go. If they're ruining the team, they're not doing a good job. If they're not going to do a good job in the future, we need to not have them on the team. This is assuming that the guys on your team are professionals. They show up to work trying to do their best, and that they're there to really serve the client and create that sanctuary for them. So with that assumption, you should go in there assuming that they were trying their best and working really hard, and look at it from that point of view. And then you can come in and deal with the specific work without tearing down the individual. So that's 1, communicate or over communicate. 2, be consistent in how you treat your employees while also being flexible with how you treat them individually. And then 3, hold them to a standard without making it personal. So that's 3 ways that you can create trust with your employees. Thanks for listening to Constructive Conversations. Stay humble, stay busy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on Constructive Conversations, where we're raising the standard of excellence one episode at a time. If you found today's discussion valuable, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you know a homeowner or contractor who could benefit from these insights, share this podcast with them. Until next time, keep building smarter, keep raising the bar, and keep the conversation constructive.